All right, bro, everybody's favorite day, legs. Got a good handful of exercises here. We're gonna start off with the Smith SLDL. This is an exercise that I just started including pretty recently, so I'm still kind of working on my form. I wasn't doing a hinge for like ever. I never did hinges because I always thought that it would hurt my back. But then I just realized that my erectors were just weak and that you kind of need a hinge in order to strengthen them. So I started doing these last few weeks and my erectors have been getting stronger. Yeah, so the weight's not where I want it to be yet. You know, I want to hit 2 plates on here, but we're just gonna have to work on that and work on the form as well, because I feel like my form still isn't locked in on this yet. But anyways, let's get into the warm-ups. Okay, so that was, let's see, 95. We're gonna move up to 125 now. All right, we got 125. Okay, we're gonna do 3. All right. Okay, so 90 plus 50, 140, 150, 160, and the bar's 15. Okay, we got 175 on here. Last time we did 7 reps at an RPE of 10, and looks like we went for the 8th and failed. So I'm gonna try and get that 8th today. I'm gonna try and make sure I lock in on my form here. All right, our 1 minute rest for the warm-ups. The last warm-up set is done. So yeah, last time we got 7, but I think my form was a little sloppy. So I'm gonna try and really lock in on the form here, and maybe we'll try and get 8, of course, but I don't know, we'll see. Oh yeah, I think we got 8 there. Maybe it was 9. Oof. Yeah, I feel like each of my reps are pretty inconsistent though. Like even still, I might want to, come in here on my next leg day and just mess around with lower weights, and see if I can really lock in on like a consistent sort of form. I feel like there's so many moving parts, like my shoulders are moving around. Obviously you got your hips, your back. Too much to worry about. I might want to fuck around with it a bit. But overall, I mean, I still feel it in my hamstrings and in my glutes and in my lower back, obviously. So, all right, next up is the leg press. So the starting weight for my machine here is 118 pounds. I've got whatever 90 times 3 is on there. So I think that's 438, or wait, I think I need to throw a 25 on. Plus 118. Yeah, I need to throw 50 more on. Okay, now I've got 438 on there. This is our first warm-up set. Okay, 438 for 5 down. Now we're gonna go up to 568. All right, we removed the 25s and then added 2 more plates. So there's 568 and we're gonna do 3. Okay, second warm up done. Now we move on to 708. Okay, 708. Gonna do our last warm up rep. Whew. Yeah, I've been kind of struggling with this weight the last couple weeks. I was progressing really well. The first time I threw 708 on there was I did 5 reps, and the next session I did 6, and then the next session 7, and then the session after that I did 9, and then kind of fucked up my back, so I took like a week off, and I came back, and last session I only got 7. So I mean, I'm hoping I can, hit 8 at least. I mean, if I can get back up to that 9 and then progress, and maybe, if I get to 9 or 10 in the next couple weeks, increase the weight. I'd love to get to 7 plates, which would be, let's see, 7 times 90 plus 118. That'd be 748 pounds. So another 40 pounds added on there wouldn't be bad. But anyways, the working set here for the leg press. I'm gonna need some real good lock-in music here. Okay. All right. Yeah, there we go. I think that was 9. 8 or 9. Definitely beat 7, hopefully. But when it's such an intense set like that, you kind of lose count. But I'll write 8 for now, and then I'll adjust it after I look at the footage. Oh man, the worst part after a leg press is just unloading 20 freaking plates. Wow, only 12, but I guess 14 because the 25s. So either way, especially since I'm so gassed, I take like probably, let me see what I even have written down in here. I've written down 6 minutes. I rest for 6 minutes before I go into my next set, which, if you haven't noticed by now, I only do 1 set per exercise on all my leg movements. So I was doing 2 for a while, but I felt like anytime I did 2 sets, I just wouldn't go to my next leg day because my legs wouldn't be fully recovered. Like, they'd still be really sore, and I just wouldn't end up showing up to the leg day. So I cut that down to 1 set, 1 working set per exercise on my leg days. And now I come twice a week. And I think it's more important to come and hit the muscle twice a week than it is to, do that extra set. I mean, either way, I'd still be hitting the same amount of sets per week. Like before, I was doing 2 sets a week, but only going once a week. And now I'm hitting 2 sets a week, but I'm going twice a week. And I think that's better for growth. All right, well, the shorts had to come off because we were getting way too hot. But next up is the lying hamstring curl. If I had a seated one at my gym, I'd use that instead, just because honestly it's better. But anyways, we're not going to do some warm-ups for this because we already did the Smith SLDL, so the hamstrings are warm. Last time we did 125 for 8 reps at an RPE of 10, and I went for the 9th and failed. So this time we're going to try and get 9. Okay. I'm having a little more pelvis movement there than I'd like to. But we definitely got the 9 reps. All right, well, we got the tried and true leg extension up next. Now, unfortunately for me, I've maxed out the stack on this, and I don't have a gym pin because I really don't want to buy one if I'm only going to be using it on the leg press. So we are going to start doing this unilaterally, which is kind of annoying. But you know what? We'll make it work. All right, well, so when we were doing it bilaterally, we were doing the full stack, which is 255. And then I was able to squeeze a 5-pound plate on the pin here on the end of it. It would fit. So I was doing 260. I was doing like 9 or 10 reps. But what do we got here? What is that? Let's go up and I think that's 120, 140, 155, 170. Oh, I can't tell. What's 57 kg? 57 times 2.2. 2.2. Yeah, okay, so that's 125. All right, so we're gonna do 130 unilaterally. We'll start with our left side, and we'll just try and get that 9 reps. See if we can get 9 reps. My gym's got this little thing that you can put on the end of your leg extension to, increase the range of motion. Okay, we're gonna go for 9. Oh, dude, my right leg was like getting in the way. Whatever, we got 8. Try to get the 9th, but I'll take that. Okay, I'm gonna keep my left leg up here for when we do the right leg. I should have just done that in the beginning, but it was my first time doing it unilaterally, and I thought I could just leave my leg down at the bottom there, but clearly not. You know what? Doing that first set unilaterally wasn't as bad as I thought it was gonna be, honestly. Okay, we do 9. 9 on the right. I probably could have got 9 on the left too if I didn't, fuck around with my right leg. But we might have been able to actually get 10. But we'll say 9 reps at an RPE of 9.5. All right, next up, we got some abs. I was doing this last in session for a while, but I kind of swapped out doing abs and calves. So I do calves last now, just because I'm getting to max out the calf machine here. And like I said, well, it's not a pin machine, so I couldn't gym pin it anyway. But putting calves later in the session, I'm fatigued more, not able to lift as much weight, and I also want to prioritize the abs over my calves because my calves are honestly pretty fucking big. I was blessed with big ass calves. But yeah, so despite me doing 1 working set for everything on my leg day, for abs, I do 2. And that's just, like I said, I want to prioritize it a bit more. I only really ever had visible abs when I was younger. And, I don't know if they're really well developed because I've never really been able to tell. So yeah, we're doing 2 sets of abs. Last time we did 25 pounds for 8 reps. So we're gonna try and do 9 reps this time. Oh man, well, we got the 9. Oh, dude, this thing just fucking kills your abs. Yeah, you gotta, the abs, the only function of the abs is to flex the spine. I try and avoid using my arms to kind of pull this to help with the weight. I try and really just focus on flexing that spine as much as I can. And we got 9. Last time for the second set, we got 6, so we'll try and do 7. And then after this is some calves. And then we're done. All right, rest complete. Okay, 7 reps. If I get 6, I won't be too disappointed, but we're aiming for 7 here. Yeah, no. Nope. Oh my god. Okay, yeah, we're definitely not getting that 7th. Oh my god, dude, I was like about to throw up or something. That was so brutal. Not actually throw up, but you guys know that feeling you get in your stomach when you're training abs. Oh my god. Okay. All right, moving on to calves. All right, so we've got some calves. I like to do, these tibia extensions before I train calves. Now, this isn't really a muscle that you need to train. It's like the neck, the forearms, tibia, these muscles that you don't really need to train, but I just throw them in anyway because, why not? And it's just like I just do 1 set, as many reps as I can get with these tibia extensions. Just throw them in. It takes like literally a minute. Well, a couple minutes because you got to load the plates up. But last time we did 70 pounds, we got 15 reps. So we've got 80 pounds on there now, and I don't know, we'll try and get like 12 or something. Okay, well, we got 13 reps. I find it kind of hard to dictate failure on such a tiny ass muscle like the tibialis. But, once it starts getting hard, I usually just stop there. Anyways, I'm going to unrack this and then we're going to get into the warm-ups on calves. All right, we're going to go into our first warm-up set on the seated calf raise. Now, I know seated is not as good as standing. I know that The standing hits your gastroc and your soleus a lot, both of them a lot better than just the seated hitting. I think the seated just really hits the gastroc and not much of the soleus, or it's the other way around. Either way, I don't know. I don't really care because my calves are fucking massive, and this isn't even really a muscle that I care to train much or to optimize. I just do seated because it's easy, and they've got the standing calf raise here. It goes up to 500 pounds. I can do like literally 20 reps with the 500 pounds on there, and it's just not worth it. It just fucks up my spine. So, you know, I could do them straight-legged on the leg press, but that's just fucking annoying. So I just do them seated, and maybe once I max out this machine, you know, we'll move to a straight-legged variant. But for now, we're doing it seated, and we've got 190 pounds on there. We're gonna do 5 reps. Okay, first warm up done, 5 reps. Now we're gonna throw on another plate and a 25. Okay, so that was 190 for 5. Now we've got 250, and we're gonna do 3. I always like to try and set my feet up in the exact same spot for every set. This is just kind of to standardize the form. Even though, you know, it really doesn't matter because I don't care much. Still, it's nice to progress on something like this. So, like, I progress on this machine the most. I don't know what it is, but my calves just get so strong so fast. Like, I was only doing 3 plates on this just a couple months ago, and now I'm up to, well, once I get into my first working set here, it's 315. So it's like 5 or I think it's like 4, 3, I don't know. It's like 5 plates or something. No, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's like 7 plates. So I don't know. We'll see. Okay, 3 reps of 250. Okay, 3 reps of 250. Now we're gonna take off the 25. What do we got? 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, so we're gonna take off the 25 and throw in 2 more 45s. All right, I think I might be able to fit 1 more 45 on this machine. So we might be able to do like, what would that be? 315 plus 45 is like 360. Yeah, so 360 is like the max, and then, you know, at that point, I don't even know what I'd do. I'd just switch. I'd just fucking stop. I'd just stop training calves at that point, probably. But anyways, we're gonna do 1 rep, and then we'll do our working set after we rest for about a minute. Okay, 1 rep. Ugh. Now we're gonna rest for about a minute. Okay, we're gonna go into our set now. So last time we did 315 for 7. So I'd like to get 8 this time. I see that we went for the 8th and failed it, so I think I had a spot. I remember I had somebody spotting me, because you can't really safely fail on this machine. Otherwise, you just get stuck at the bottom, and you're kind of cooked. But you know, I just won't go to failure. I'll just go, you know, an RPE of like 9 or 9.5. Okay, let's see. All right. Okay, 315, 7 or 8. All right, yeah, we're just gonna call that 7. I don't want to go for the 8th, just because in case I fail, I don't want to be stuck down there and have to call somebody over. But we'll call it 7 at an RPE of 10. And holy shit, I feel lightheaded after that one. Whew. All right, well, obviously we lost a little bit of the pump in the quads here because I had a freaking 5-minute phone call. But, boom, monkey on the thigh. Anyways, they are looking pretty juiced. I'm pretty excited to start, seeing the rectum, the vastus muscles coming out. It's going to be pretty nice. As far as the calves and hamstrings, I don't really know how to flex my hamstrings. But the calves, I mean, dude, I honestly should just stop training calves at this point. They're literally just like big, fat, fucking meaty drumsticks. They're getting too big. I'm gonna get my measurements here. I'm gonna do some measurements in a little bit to, see what, the biceps, the calves, the waist, the neck, everything is measuring in at. I did some last year, and it'd be cool to see what the differences are over the course of this last year. But anyways, that's legs. Tomorrow's a rest day, so there won't be a video. But yeah, the cut's going good. I can steadily see some weight being decreased day by day on the scale. It could just be fluctuations. I don't actually think I'm losing 2 to 3 pounds every day. That'd be pretty ridiculous. But we're gonna just take the all the numbers for the week, average them out, and then we're just kind of gonna use that number going forward. And if I am losing weight too fast, I'll probably increase the calories I'm consuming just by adding in some more protein, because I think I'm only eating around 160-ish grams of protein a day, most likely, somewhere around there. And the goal weight is going to be around 180, 190, I think. So I think I'll be pretty lean at 180, 190. That's about 50 pounds away. And then, yeah, we should be looking pretty good for the summertime.